Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the Looters Lounge. My name is Lady Letty, and this is part 12 of my Stardew Valley walkthrough. And in this video, we are picking up where we left off in part 11. I just left Clint's, and I was checking out to see what all I needed to upgrade my tools. I can only upgrade to a copper axe, hoe, or trash can. And at this moment, out of all those options, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick the copper axe. It's going to be 2000 G and 5 copper bars, and so I think that would be a good choice. After I leave there and I do some running around for a second, I run into a cutscene with Jazz and Vincent over by the sewer. And as they're checking it out, they notice that there's a lock on the sewer door. And Jazz says that she has seen Gunther with a key that she assumes will fit this lock. I'm taking that as a mental note. But before that thought could really progress to anything, something moving in there spooks them and they run off. And then me, here I come because I'm big, bad, and brave. I take a look and whatever it is ends up spooking me too. That's embarrassing. How embarrassing would it be to try to be brave for a bunch of kids and then you end up getting afraid? That would be horrible. I am sure that that has happened to me at least once in my life, especially during my period where I was afraid of bugs. And, kids are screaming about a bug or something, and then I nearly knocked them out the way to get away from the bug. I'm sure that's happened in my life. So from there, I head to my farm. And it's the middle of the day. I've already watered my crops, but I have this speed grow fertilizer. And after I kind of clean up my inventory and all that, I decide that I'm going to get and place this fertilizer. Now, when I say decide, it's not an educated decision. It's not a thought that I put too much into. And so I just go ahead and do it. I'm sure there's a smart way to have made the decision. Um, I don't know what the smart way would have been, but I'm secure in my decision. I'd rather my walkthrough be full of trial and error. Unless I'm struggling too bad, then I'm gonna cry for help. So now this speed grow fertilizer, it stimulates leaf production products, which sounds very specific. Hopefully that just means crops, but it guarantees to increase the growth rate by at least 10%. It 10% makes me chuckle, but it also makes my eye twitch a little bit because 20% is the minimum is the minimal discount that I see beneficial, that's like really gonna make me go, ooh, this is a deal. And Pierre sells these at his shop. And the likeliness of me going to spend money on speed grow fertilizer when it's the benefit's only 10% is minimal. Actually, it's zero. I'm not going to buy it from him. So after I use all 20, I go down to the third section of my farm and I start clearing more of the wood and the rocks. And I also go and I break some rocks in my mineral deposit area. And because there's a good amount of copper ore and geodes there, and we know I need those copper bars in order to get this upgrade. Guys, don't mind that I have one AirPod and one headphone ear. I was getting ready to edit and I was listening to music as I was getting ready, and I just looked and saw myself and I look so silly. I'm silly. So I'm gonna be in this area just doing these things until I use up the last of my energy before I head to bed. And you know what? I'm getting really close to clearing out this section with clearing out the things that I can clear in this section with the tools that I have at this moment. And it really makes me excited. I'm really proud of myself. And now that I have my crops, they're going good, my foraging, I'm starting to make some money. I got steady income coming in. So it's really going to be no time until I can complete these upgrades. And who knows, onto the coop and what all my other projects that I have lined up. Speaking of these upgrades, there are the copper hoe, which is the same amount as the copper axe. It's 2000 G and 5 bars. And then the copper trash can, which is 5 bars also, but 1000 G. And the copper trash can actually allows you to reclaim 50% of the value of the thing that you're throwing away, which I'm right now only throwing away trash, I think. And I don't know what the value of this trash is. So I don't see me making too much of a profit by doing it. So I don't see myself making this purchase until I have so much money that I'm just spending it frivolously, which really isn't a lot of money at all, to be honest, for me to spend money frivolously. So I spend all my energy, but it's not quite late in the night yet. And so I add some copper ores to my furnace. And I finally craft that scarecrow that I needed to do for my journal quest. And just like the speed grow fertilizer, I kind of just randomly place it. I don't see a range of what it covers. I know Coral Island, they do that very well where they show a range for the scarecrows. I place it between my two tilled areas. So after I do those things, I go to bed and I level up to farming 2, and that gives my watering can and my hoe boost in proficiency. And now I can craft a stone fence, a mayonnaise machine, and a sprinkler. I also got 100 G for making that scarecrow yesterday. So that is awesome. This might be the most money I've had all game. So now for today, it is Friday, the 12th day of spring. I have a letter from the mayor informing me of the egg festival that's tomorrow. It's going to be between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. I think it's interesting that Mayor Lewis ends his letter by saying, "You wouldn't want to miss the annual egg hunt." And it's interesting because in most cases in games like this, Harvest Moon even, you do the festival the first year, and then after that, you've done it. There's no reason to keep going back to festivals. At least in my case, I typically don't do too many festivals over and over. Actually, I take that back. The horse race in Harvest Moon, I loved that race. That was my thing. But like the spring dance festival, after you got married, that was done. You really only redid these festivals unless you didn't get the grand prize of first place. So then I posed the question to you guys. What do you think is a good incentive to get the player to keep coming back to festivals yearly? I think one is making like the grand prize. I think one is having like a grand cash prize. And in the code, having that grand cash prize, a certain percentage of what the player has. So then if they get that grand prize, it can bring them up financially, but also not so much money that it seems impossible that the village could afford it. Y'all know how much I like realism. But besides that, I also think making the prizes for first, second, and third to be worth getting so that even if the player came in third place the first year, it was something good. And then the same for second and first, and maybe even making it kind of like you can't really have gotten these prizes unless that you've gotten it at the festival. Anywho, rant over. And after doing all my farm chores, I am prepared to do one of two things. Maybe both. Both of them, I need to have an empty bag, which my inventory reminds me of my bag. And so I run to Pierre's. I get there and I go to see how much the bag is, and it's 2,000 G. So now I have to make a hard decision because that's the same amount of money to upgrade my tool, but I don't have 4,000 G. So I get the bag, and I feel like the bag was a more important investment because my inventory has been such an issue. The more things I can carry, the more things I can sell, which is the more money I can make, which then will put me back to having the money I need to do what I need to do. So I get that. And then I also remember how I was short in the last part for the training rod. So then I get my training rod. And as soon as I get it, I am ready to test this bad boy out, which is one of the things I need an empty inventory for. And I do, and I am catching fish, and I'm doing so good. I'm doing way better. And also, I figured the mechanics a little bit. Before when I was fishing, I was tapping. I thought I had to tap, where you actually have to just hold the click. I did not realize that. So yeah. So I catch about 3 fish and I get a chest that gives me bait. I know I had asked you guys about bait in the last part. I get bait. Not 1,000% sure how to use it. If you guys know, go ahead and leave me a comment. Leave me a comment of why the pickaxe wasn't there, or even let me know what you guys think of how I should have used the speed grow fertilizer. I love reading your comments and hearing from you guys. But after I catch those things, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to spend all my energy here. I am happy. I know how to fish. Good. Let me head to the mines. So I run through town, and as I'm cutting through town, I decide to stop at the community center to drop off these fish that I just got. I was hoping to drop off maybe at least two, but only the sardine was the only one that I can donate at the community center. So I was like, okay, that's fine. That just means I have two fish to sell. So it's not a lose situation. So after that, I continue on up to the mines. Now I am a cave girly in Minecraft. But like I like certain things in certain games, and Minecraft really does the mines really good, and they do mines really good, but also I have not been very good with my clickability, my click perception. I haven't been doing very good with clicking, and so I'm a little bit nervous going into these caves. I don't know how aggressive these monsters are going to be, how many it will be, and I'm really nervous about my energy and my health. And so I just really have to lock in on this part. Now, what Stardew Valley did very well with is gradually easing me into the caving mechanics. The first level, there was any monsters on the first level, and it was easy. But as I got further down, I got introduced to new monsters, which Minecraft don't do that. If it's dark, there's monsters. While I'm down there, I also see there's a few different types of rocks, which right now they all seem like they're dropping. Some might drop coal, but most of them drop rocks, and some are 2 hits, some are 3. I'm trying to just hit the one strike rocks, and also the crates. The crates are really really pointless, but I still break them because I want to make sure that they're I want to make sure that they're pointless. So back to the monsters, I run into 3 types of enemies down here. There's like a flying mosquito thing that doesn't seem like it will attack me, but I don't give it the opportunity. And the annoying slime. These slimes give me a run for my money. Like they're not playing with me and I'm not playing with them. And then there's like a rock crab thing. And again, my energy and my health, I was nervous about. I brought enough food down there with me, but the loot wasn't really looting, and I don't know. I don't know really what I was expecting. I think when you're going into the caves, you want it to be very rewarding. And I think especially with a game like this where the main mechanics are farming, again, there might be people who love the caves and that's what they're here for. And that's cool. For me, I rather farm. I rather love on my cat type of stuff. And yeah, I make it down to level 5. And as expected, once I do that, I am ready to go. There is no reason for me to hang around besides to get my butt kicked by these slimes. I also was hoping to get something super special on level 5, which I didn't get it. And I checked my journal and I don't get nothing special in my journal either. It just literally just was like, oh, level 5, good, make it a level 40. How rude was that? Being in the caves, it makes me wonder what was the first game to introduce this type of system of caving. How you have to find a randomly generated ladder. Every 5 or so floors is an elevator. There's special loot or a boss on other levels. I kind of feel like it was Stardew Valley. You guys let me know if you know of a game. Now, Whenever I'm playing a game that has caves, it makes me think of, I don't know how many of you guys know about the game Dark Cloud. I was so in love with this game. I don't recommend it. The storyline is very demonic, but the story progression was so much fun. I remember playing it on my PS1. For those who do not know about this game, the relation between this and that is that you go into the caves and you fight monsters and you gain orbs that have like people and buildings and etc. And when you come out the caves, you have to now rebuild this town or world, and you interact with the people that you've now found in the caves to for them to tell you where to place their homes or where things were. And then there was like a world completion bar, and you want to try to 100%. I love gaming, and I think children and adults should experience it at some point of their life. But now it's the next day. It's the day of the Egg Festival. I hope you guys have been enjoying this video so far. If you have, don't forget to leave a like. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the Loot Crew. And if you are already subscribed, consider spamming your friends with this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support and watching my videos. If you never want to miss a video, go ahead and click that notification button. And stay tuned for part 13. We're going to go to the Egg Festival. We also have a cutscene with Linus, and come back and see how do I get my money back up to 10 to my never-ending list of projects that I have. Until next time, you guys stay safe and take care of yourself and keep looting adventures. Bye for now.